Goma is a city ringed by armed groups and hunger. Water, food or toilets are scarce, and it's incredibly dangerous. More than 1.1 million civilians have been displaced in fighting in the last year. Many find themselves stranded on the outskirts of town. The official camps are full. In this one makeshift settlement, there are 600 families. What hope do they have if this is their only chance to sit at a school desk? It's hard not to notice the bloated stomachs, a sign of serious malnutrition. Home sits in the shadows of an active volcano. The children are covered in cuts from the volcanic rock. Many of the women widowed by the fighting. Conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo has been ongoing since the 90s. But in the last year, violence is rising in eastern Congo, where ethnic conflict meets ruthless competition over mineral resources. Escaping violence in the north, tens of thousands of people are arriving in the city of Goma. There are more than 100 armed militias in this region, Congolese armed forces, UN peacekeepers, and the rebel group M23. Rwanda is accused of supporting the most notorious group, M23, a charge they deny.
M23 was a significant problem about a decade ago and then kind of disappeared, and in the last 18 months has really had a resurgence. And a number of us were puzzled, how has this happened? A UN report early this year with satellite imagery and real detail suggested that part of the reason for the resurgence is that Rwanda has kind of been encouraging it to become a lot more active.
Where does the UK government come into this? There's obviously increased ties with Rwanda at the moment.
The UK has not underlined its condemnation of Rwanda as supporting M23. It has just said that external supporters should desist. That's very different from the EU, the UN and other international partners.
Camps are attacked on a daily basis. Women grieve at a mass grave in Ituri province. In June, militiamen killed 46 people, including 23 children. That attack pushed nearly 8,000 people towards Goma. But it's not safe there either. Even before night falls, armed groups go on killing sprees. Rape and robbery are rife. Back at the makeshift camp, one swing set brings some joy. For a generation growing up in a forgotten crisis.
Well, Jan Egeland is Secretary General of the Norwegian Refugee Council. He's just been in Goma and joins me now from Oslo. This is, as Emily says, a crisis that doesn't get a lot of attention. It's quite hard to get into, but you've been there. You've been to a lot of grim places around the world, I know, over your career. How bad is it? How urgent is it?
It's very bad, and it's extremely urgent. I mean, I come back today from Goma, North Kivu, and Ituri, all across the northern eastern DRC, which is the epicenter of the largest humanitarian catastrophe of our time and age. 27 million people need emergency aid. 25 million people need food. So what stands out is really the scale of the problem. It's tremendous. And the other thing that stands out is the world doesn't care. I mean, the world turns their back on this. This is a very rare report on how bad it is in DR Congo. We let women and children perish there with very little attention and very little aid.
Right, and why is so little aid getting to them?
I think it is in part because we are now obsessed, understandably some would say, with war in Europe and with Trump in America. And the DR Congo seemed to be too far away, really. And secondly, many feel that this has gone on for a very long time, and there is some fatigue and some exhaustion. But millions of children's lives is at stake at the moment. If we are not able to scale up dramatically, we only have 1/3 of what we need for emergency aid. millions may perish, and we will lose an entire generation to illiteracy. 1/3 of all children are not even in school. The school that you showed the images of now, where I was just day before yesterday, I mean, it was built for 300 children. Now there are 750 children because of the displacement. There are 7 teachers for the 750 children. There are 2-3 latrines. There is cholera there. We're building as many new facilities as is possible, but we're really, really overstretched.
Now, the ethnic dimension to this is complex, but M23, the rebel group that is resurgent at the moment, do you believe that that is because of support from Rwanda?
I do not know. I'm a humanitarian worker. It's hard for us to really see the nefarious political and economic interests that are at play here. But it's not only M23, it's the largest and most aggressive at the moment. There are 150 armed groups in North Kivu and Ituri provinces alone. There are millions of people now displaced. There are killings up in Ituri. It's not M23, it's many other groups. Some of them have origin from, yes, and some support from the neighboring countries. Now they have all sorts of arms and fuel also from illegal mining and minerals, which means that there needs to be a bigger political and diplomatic efforts to take away the fuel of these armed men that are raping women and that are killing children.